Hello everyone. Today we're presenting job stress and diversity in Loblaw. Let's take a look at what we're going to focus on. First, we're going to talk about the history of Loblaw, how it was founded, by whom and when. Then switch to diversity and job stress. Here we're giving overall information about it, and then how Loblaw is dealing with them and provide recent data about it. Loblaw's story starts in 1999 when Theodore Loblaw and Milton Cork opened their first Loblaw groceries in the area of Toronto. They put up the store and implemented a new retail concept that they developed that combined cash and carry and self-service. At the Lovelock Grocery, customers did not have to wait for a clerk to get their orders from behind the store's counters. Initially, many industry were skeptical about the store's concept. However, they were soon proven wrong as sales started to rise and more customers were warming to the idea along with a very good quality product at a very reasonable prices. Soon, another grocer from Toronto, Charles Schultz, joined the partnership with Cork and Loblaw. In 10 years' time, Loblaw grocery stores increased considerably, reaching more than 70 stores in all over Toronto. In 1928, Loblaw's grocery stores expanded out of Toronto to the U.S. states like New York, Illinois, and Pennsylvania. In the same period, Loblaw completed its new headquarters, complete with a warehouse facility located at Flynn and Bathurst Streets in Toronto. This new warehouse was equipped with modern equipment like a giant oven and electric train railway. The company's employees, the new headquarters, also had an auditorium and bowling lanes. In 1933, there were more than 100 Loblaws groceries operating in 150 of these stores located in Chile and the rest in U.S. In 1947, George Weston acquired 100,000 shares of Loblaw stock. Weston was able to buy the stock from the Cork who offered to sell his. Here you can see the chronology of events happening to Loblaws. It started with the two grocery stores in 1919 and today is Canada's largest food distributor and owns companies such as Joy Fresh, No Name, President Choice, and Life Brand. Also, it has over 28,000 full-time employees and approximately 76,000 of part-time employees.
Diversity and job stress. What is it? Let's start with job stress. Job stress is stress and tensions that many employees and even employers feel because of the impacts of their work. Whether you work a job that is more physical, mental, or emotional, everyone feels the stress from a job at some point in their lives. Who does it affect? Stress from your workplace affects employees and employers, though it can sometimes also carry over to customers as the tensions from an employee or employer can be felt throughout. How does it affect employees and employers? Stress is harmful for everyone. When employees or employers are stressed, it can take a great toll on their physical and mental health. Why is it important? Job stress is an important thing to be addressed as it is a serious issue and become harmful for those that are stressed. Diversity is the practice or quality of including people from a range of different social and ethnic backgrounds and of different genders and sexual orientations. Diversity is one of the most important things in a workplace as it is important for everyone to be seen as equal and as human. Who does it affect? Diversity affects everyone, but especially minorities. As humans, we should all love and share the same respect for everyone, no matter who they are. When we are negative to others, it can hurt them and cause issues in the workplace. How does it affect employees and employers? Without diversity, many people that are minorities can feel hurt and unincluded. This is something that not only can harm them mentally, but can harm them physically, as discrimination is sadly a big issue in today's world. Why is it important? Diversity is important because it strengthens our communities. Everyone comes from somewhere, and we should all treat each other with kindness and respect.
Hi, it's a team research project about Loblaws on diversity and job stress. And now I explain about diversity in Canada. And in 2018, 23.6% of Canada's general population is newly emerging is the most critical degree of the G8 countries. A large portion of this general population lived in Ontario, British Columbia, Quebec, and Alberta. Canada's greatest wellspring of outsiders from 2006 and 2020 was from Asia. 40% of racialized people in Ontario were explored by Ontario Human Rights Commission in 2017. Pretty much about 6 to 64800 people perceive themselves as a person from a clear minority pack by a long shot, most and three greatest in enlistment metropolitan district Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. To next slide, the workspaces experience an enormous proportion of the interference associated with COVID-19, including store network issues and workforce increases. Since March 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted various pieces of life for Canadians. April to June 2021, one-fourth of Canadians uncovered experienced raised levels of pressure most days, and practically half of Canadians contemplated that their sensation of tension were more horrible than going before the pandemic. Among women are those developed 25 to 54, the LGBTQ2 plus people, and those living with adolescents. Right, when gotten some data about how much strain in their life, women 27% differentiated and 23% of when, which reasoning saw in 2013 and 2014 in Canada before the pandemic. Canadians are aged 35 to 44, 36% extremely stressful, followed by those aged 45 to 54, 30%, and those aged 35 to 34, 39%. That's it.
So how Loblaw combat job stress? According to a 2021 article written by the Mental Health Commission of Canada, Loblaw used to be reactive when dealing with stress and mental health, which meant they would only help those managers who would reach out due to their inexperience to what they were passing through with an employee or even themselves. It is important to highlight that perceived stress is negatively associated with positive mental health, according to a 2020 study from Ken and Shamama Toshaba. This means that in order to combat work stress, companies need to focus on mental health too, including Loblaw. Therefore, due to this lack of preparation to deal with these situations, Loblaw decided to look for a more proactive approach by providing store managers with the tools they needed to respond to mental health crises in the workplace. They introduced it in between 2018 and 2018 a mental health first aid, also known as MHFA, a course developed to help managers provide support to someone who may be experiencing a decline in their mental well-being or may be in a crisis. They set a goal of training 2 people per store. Loblaw got as a result 423 training managers to talk about mental health and that can probably direct to employees toward medical support if they need it, giving them more confidence to talk about their struggles and have more self-care about their lives. The application of the MHFA was considered successful by the company, but then COVID happened. Due to the pandemic, Loblaw took some decisions that affected their employees negatively, such as taking out the hourly pay boost or not having investing as much in safety measures against COVID-19. These actions led to a high stress level for the employees, and even if Loblaws still have a significant number of trained managers to deal with mental health, it is still not enough in a nationwide sense. Besides, after these events, as mentioned by the Mental Health Commission of Canada, the company hopes that in the future, after COVID, everyone at Loblaw will have mental health tools, not just the managers, so they can share the knowledge and experience with their peers and help those who need it.
Loblaws takes pride in their diverse work culture. They are continuously improving, which is what has kept them on the list of Canada's best diversity employers since 2011. They have done many things to implement positive changes within their company over the past decade. Loblaws has created committees to support their employees, including Go Further Women, Proud to Be Me for members of the LGBTQ plus community, Embrace Your Roots for people of color, and ABLE for those with disabilities. They also ensure managers are properly educated on inclusive hiring and that all colleagues are trained on culture, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And to reduce the wage gap, they consistently monitor gender pay equity. These statistics from 2020 show the percentages of women and visible minorities employed at Loblaws. They are still working on improving these rates. They have stated their goal by the end of 2024 is to have women in at least 40% of executive positions and 43% of management positions, as well as racialized members in 25% of executive positions and 30% of management positions.
We can see that Loblaw is a reflection of Canada's reality, as we saw in the data section. A country where its population is becoming more diverse than ever, but at the same time, this population struggles with stress and mental health, especially minority groups who are trying to have their space in society. Loblaw history gave us an understanding of how they grew up to be one of the biggest companies in Canada and how they adapted over time, and they still do by looking to become more diverse and stress manageable. However, due to some business decisions, they sometimes may contradict themselves in terms of values by doing things that cause more stress to their employees, especially the ones that are immigrants or from a minority group. In conclusion, Loblaw needs to keep looking for diversity to their workplace, but also look for more tools that make their employees less stressful due to their jobs. In the end, if they cannot manage stress, they will negatively impact minorities, which will consequently make that diversity decrease. Thank you for watching this presentation, and we hope you will like it to watch it.